The Stock of the Day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. Trade over 17,000 markets with extended trading hours on key US shares and competitive spreads, all on an award-winning platform. Get started at IG.com.
Let's first check in on our Stock of the Day. This is a stock that is making news, and it is Austal. It has resumed trading after being placed in a hold as Treasurer Jim Chalmers announced he had approved Hanwha's plan to increase its stake in the shipbuilder to 19.9%. The South Korean company previously had a near 10% stake. The approval includes conditions including limits to access to sensitive data. Chief Executive Paddy Gregg saying the company respected the Treasurer's decision and the conditions attached to the approval, saying, with the clarity provided by the decision, the board and management are firmly focused on delivering value for all Austal shareholders as Australia's sovereign shipbuilder under the Strategic Shipbuilding Agreement, a major contributor to the US defence industrial base, and with significant growth opportunities at our US and Australasia operations. Hanwha previously indicating it would seek to partner with Austal on shipbuilding opportunities and pursue a board position if the increased stake is approved. But now, Adam, interesting. You just said we need more commitment on the Australian market. You said you were going to actually maybe look at Austal first thing.
I did. I looked at the decision. I thought this was going to be a fantastic announcement, one for Austal, but also for the sector. And yeah, it opened at $6.60 and currently $6.26. So market has pulled away a little bit from it. The only thing I can think of that was the devil in the detail was that the taking it from 10% to 20%, 9.9 to 19.9. One of the stipulations were that it is not allowed to take over the business or take over the company. Now, we've also got Andrew Forrest in there with Tatarang, I think, Ventures. He's at 19.9 as well. Okay, so from me I'm thinking 40% of the stock now is out. It's not in free float. So this should then tighten everything up and move forward. So I couldn't work out why. The only thing I can think of is the reason why it's down is that it can't creep or have any other creeping provisions or take it over. So that's the only thing. But if there was to be a takeover, potentially they would take the US assets, Hanwha would take the US, and Twiggy might take the Aussie assets. But that's further down the track. And it's interesting that the stock today is down on what I think is a pretty good announcement. Plus also they're going to have to, whether they're going to buy on market or they've got to find a line for another 10%, which if they're buying on market, that should support the share price. But I don't know how that's going to work either. Since it's a buy, hold, sell comment, I'm going to say buy. I think this is. I've never been a huge fan of this one, but this does certainly take away 40% of free float of that stock. I think this thing would creep higher going forward.
A buy for you. What about you, Mark?
I'm probably not as positive, but only because I sort of prefer more scalable end like drone shield, electro-optic systems. We get a fair bit of European defence, and we think it'll be a pretty strong theme next year. Shipbuilding, I think this stock's really benefited from the defence thematic this year, and probably just a bit of a rich multiple for me at the minute. And look, but I don't disagree with that. I'm like, the lack of free float, and that'll be a big decision on whether they'll take a line or whether they'll buy on market. But we've seen plenty of companies with buybacks, though in the last year that have gone backwards as well. So I think you probably just need to see them execute, and I think it'll probably go again, and maybe some more contracts. But that's where I sort of prefer the likes of EOS and Drone Shield is they can get a lot of incremental contracts and have little wins along the way, whereas shipbuilding's pretty large. So that's more. It's more my tilt. My tilt towards a constant flow of positive news and new contracts with the others. But I don't think you'll go too far wrong with this for sure. And I'd be interested to see how they go with earnings season, like middle of the year next year. And if they're executing and things are going well, but as well, commodity prices doesn't really play very, very well. We're quite bullish commodities and steel, etc. And it's going to increase costs for these guys. So I'll just say a hold for now. Maybe buying a dip if we got a significant pullback, but I think there's other opportunities elsewhere which will be easier plays.
Righto then, a buy from Adam and a hold for Mark, although, as you just heard there, potentially buy on any dip that you're seeing, or have we seen that today? But obviously there's to fall further. All right, that's our stock of the day. Austal.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Trade over 12,000 shares and ETFs, including major tech giants with extended hours on an award-winning platform. Get started at ig.com.